Hello, gorgeous. Have you ever wondered why on earth is it so hard to lose fat during perimenopause? It's like gaining it is not a problem. You don't even have to try. But losing it, ooh, that's a whole other story. As a perimenopausal coach, this is one of the top 3 things women complain to me about when we connect. They're like, girl, I am just gaining weight. Things that I did years ago and was able to lose the fat, it's like, it's not working anymore. It's like, as soon as I snap my finger, I'm gaining fat. Why? What is going on? Well, the main reason for that is estrogen. Trudie German here, perimenopausal coach, where I help women like you going through perimenopause navigate this time. I help women like you who are tired of being tired, who are tired of sleepless nights, who are tired of going to your doctors and your doctors are like, you're normal. They run all the blood tests, everything comes back normal, but you feel like crap. You feel you're not heard, you feel you're not supported. Everyone makes you feel crazy. And I want to tell you, you are not crazy. You are perimenopausal. And I am going to help you navigate that because I share a lot of information here. So in this video, I am going to explain to you how the drop in estrogen affects you gaining and losing fat. And of course, steps to take to help you lose fat and or keep it off during perimenopause. Before we get into the video, I am hosting a 90-minute webinar at the end of this month where I am going to be telling you a lot of the things you're doing wrong in the days that is stopping you from sleeping at night and having you feel like crap, having you feel tired throughout the day. So check the description below to register. So estrogen. Estrogen is a sex hormone, and when we're younger, before we hit perimenopause, estrogen is produced in our ovaries, right? And of course, it helps with giving us the boobs we have. And of course, it gives us our curves. It also gives our hair that healthy look. So this is why if you're going through perimenopause and your hair may be falling out, it could be because the drop in estrogen. It also gives your skin that healthy glow. Once again, as we enter perimenopause, it drops and our skin may not look as supple as before. Now, in terms of fat loss, estrogen helps with appetite regulation. It helps with the production of melatonin. It helps with the building and repairing of muscles. And it also helps with the buffering of stress. So estrogen helps to regulate your appetite. During perimenopause, estrogen levels are dropping. And of course, this may have an impact on how your appetite is regulated. So leptin is the hormone that tells you when you're full. And with estrogen dropping, you may notice that you're eating the same amount of meals that you were having before, the same portion size, but you're not feeling full, or you may need to eat more frequently because leptin and ghrelin is the one that tells you you're hungry, are imbalanced. So with the hormones that tell you you're full and you're hungry not being regulated and balanced and to function properly because of the drop in estrogen, which is supposed to happen, it's just that with our stressful lifestyle, estrogen is dropping so fast that our brain and our body can't communicate fast enough. And this is why you may find that you're eating more and you're feeling hungrier more often. No matter how you eat, you can't feel full. And this may also lead to cravings, And of course, when we're craving stuff, we never crave the healthy stuff. You never crave blueberries and quinoa and chicken breast. You're always craving the high fatty, high sugary stuff, like something fried, like fried chicken or donuts, or ice cream. It's always something high calories. So of course, that will have you packing on fat faster, and especially around your midsection. Another thing that estrogen does is estrogen helps you to build muscles. And this is why I am such an advocate of you, a woman over 40 going through perimenopause, lifting weights. When you have higher levels of estrogen, you can put on muscles faster. And some of the things that you may be doing right now that's breaking down muscles is not eating enough. It could be intermittent fasting, and it could be a whole lot of cardio. Now, I'm not telling you not to do cardio during perimenopause, but you want to be careful of the amount of cardio you're doing, because you don't have estrogen to help you build muscles fast or maintain it. So this is why you need to be lifting weights. You need to be lifting heavy weights, doing 8 to 10 reps. If you can do more than 10 reps, baby, the weight's not heavy enough. You are not building muscles, and you're gonna be like, how comes I'm working out and I'm putting on fat instead of losing it? That could be the type of workouts you're doing. So this is why it is very important for you to lift heavy. I want you to think about it this way when it comes to weight training. I want you to think about getting stronger, because I find what happens is if you start focusing on losing fat, then your mindset kind of does something different. You're too focused on the scale. But if you focus on getting stronger, every time, every week you go to work out, you should be able to lift a little heavier. If you don't have access to heavier weights, that's fine. Slow down each rep. But you want to be building muscles during perimenopause to help you lose fat. Because of course, the more muscles you have, the less fat you'll have. And you want to be lifting heavier during perimenopause because estrogen level is dropping. So it is harder. Listen, I know it is harder. Let me tell you something. I weight train and I feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like now during perimenopause, I have to be going twice as hard in the gym for the same results. But I am aware that that is because estrogen level is dropping. The next thing estrogen does is to help with the production of melatonin. Melatonin is your sleep hormone. And of course, you're probably like, this is why I'm not sleeping at night. Yes, because estrogen is dropping and melatonin production is dropping. With that drop in melatonin, this is part of the reason falling asleep at nights may be a challenge for you. Staying asleep at night is a challenge for you. And of course, if you are not getting good quality sleep, your hunger and full hormones will not be balanced. And that is going to have you gaining fat as opposed to losing fat. When you sleep, because melatonin is being produced, this is when you actually build and repair your muscles. And as I mentioned before, the more muscles you have, the less fat you will have. And I know that sleep is a huge problem for you during perimenopause. Trust me, I went through it myself for 6 weeks, where when it came time to sleep at night, I would literally be crying and begging God to let me sleep through the night because I just wasn't sleeping. And then I realized it was because a lot of things that I was doing during the day, even though I'm in fitness, even though I'm a health coach, but I also realized as my hormones are changing, my body is changing, my body is preparing for menopause. So I had to make changes to the things that I was doing so I can be able to sleep at night. And these are some of the things that I am going to be teaching you in my 90-minute webinar. So definitely check the description and register. Estrogen also helps to buffer stress. So I want you to think about this. You're watching this because you're in your 40s, probably going through perimenopause. Think about when you were in your 20s, okay? You could go to work if you had children, pick up children from daycare, come home, take care of them, do wifely things, do household things, and still had energy to go out with your girlfriends and do other things that you enjoy doing. Today, in your 40s, that's not happening. You're like, pick somebody else. 2, maybe 3 things will happen, but not all of them. That is because then you had more estrogen to help buffer your stress level, because all those things are stress being added to the body, but you don't think of them as stress because you can handle them. Now you do half of those things and you're wiped. You feel tired, you feel exhausted. That is because estrogen is dropping. So with the drop in estrogen level, you can't handle as much stress as before. And some of the things that may be stressful in your life, finances, work, you're parenting your parents who don't listen, you're parenting your children, you're dealing with traffic, you're spending time on social media, you're not eating enough, you're working out too hard. There's so many different things that's stressing your body. So with that estrogen dropping, cortisol increasing, what's happening is you are breaking down muscles. When cortisol remains high, it doesn't matter how hard you're working out, you're not building muscles. When your cortisol level remains high, it doesn't matter how clean you're eating, your body's not absorbing and digesting any of the nutrients. So now you're more susceptible to gaining fat because estrogen is dropping, cortisol increasing, you can't sleep properly. Sleep is when your body builds and repairs. Sleep is when your appetite becomes regulated. And sleep also helps manage stress. So do you see what's going on here? Do you see how estrogen is important and why it seems like no matter what you're doing, you're gaining fat and it's so hard to lose it? It is all because of estrogen, and estrogen is supposed to drop. So some of the things that you can do to help with this, as I mentioned before, 1, you definitely want to make sure you are lifting weights. Please, please, please make sure the weights you're lifting is challenging. You're not using 5 pounds and doing 20 to 25 reps. That is not going to build muscles during perimenopause and help you lose fat. Stop doing 6 hours of cardio a week. Please, you do not need more than an hour cardio per week. That could be 20 minutes, 3 times a week, 30 minutes, 2 times a week, 10 minutes, 6. I just don't want you doing more than 60 minutes of cardio during perimenopause, because we want to be participating in things that is going to build muscles. So the more muscles you have, the less fat you have. We don't want to be participating in activities that is going to break down your muscle mass. Now, you may be like, I want to try bar. I love Pilates. I love yoga. Sure, keep those things, but make sure you're incorporating 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week. Focus on getting stronger. Each week, lift a little heavier. If you don't have access to heavy weights, that's fine. Each week, go a little slower with your workout. The goal is to get stronger and build muscles. You also want to make sure that you are eating enough food throughout the day. Please, please do not be participating in intermittent fasting. Please do not go starving yourself because you want to lose fat. Please do not go no or low carb, because those are also going to break down your muscles. Your muscles need carbs. I know you don't realize it, but your muscles need carbs. Your muscles also need protein. You should be having a minimum of 90 grams of protein per day. That is the minimum. The more you weigh, the more you're going to need. But you want to start off with 90 grams of protein, 30 grams of protein with your breakfast. That could be eggs, cottage cheese. You can have another 30 grams at lunch, quinoa, tofu, legume, beef, and another 30 grams at dinner. Turkey breast, chicken breast, legumes again. But you want to make sure that you're having your protein throughout the day. You want to make sure you're sleeping. and you're like, girl, I want to sleep, but sleep keeps running from me. Sleep keeps evading me. I got you, girl. I got you. Just check the description and sign up for my 90-minute webinar where I'm going to be teaching you things that you need to be doing and things you need to remove so you can sleep at night. If you are gaining fat and it's just no matter what you're doing, you can't get rid of it and you would like some help, my email address is below. Please shoot me an email and we can schedule a time where I can start helping you. I hope this video helped you to understand why, losing fat during perimenopause isn't as simple as calories in, calories out, or as simple as work out more. Because that is a lot of the message that is out there, and that is not the case, because your body is changing because of your hormones estrogen. Estrogen is declining, and with the decline in estrogen comes a lot of changes and challenges. But please implement these tips that I share with you to help you lose fat and keep it off. And if you would like some more help with that, my email address is below, so definitely send me an email. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please go ahead and subscribe, because I do share a lot of information around here on perimenopause.